You're the boss.
Thank you. So our family, Mitch and I have been married 2.5 years. We've got a beautiful 7-year-old daughter named Kennedy.
3 years ago, Mitch and Tenille were told they were about to have twins.
I was shocked.
He was shocked because I actually had a dream the night before our first ultrasound that it was twins. And he said, oh God, don't joke about that, that's not funny. So then when it happened and I phoned him to tell him, he just didn't believe me, he thought I was kidding.
Yeah, I was fishing with the boys, I still remember it. Whole bottle of rum later.
Before they knew it, their little family of 3 was about to become a party of 5.
Andie was first born, and when she came out, she had a condition called pulmonary hypertension, which is when the baby doesn't transition properly from the womb to the outside air. Then Harley was born, everything was fine, and then it was sort of the hours after the birth when Andie became quite unwell.
It was getting very crazy in there, doctors going everywhere, nurses sort of panicking, and we've nearly lost her in the first night that we had her.
But Andie was a fighter. She spent the first 5.5 weeks of her life in the neonatal intensive care unit.
She was the strongest baby they'd seen. You know, they didn't see babies in her condition survive very often.
You're all right, Bob.
You're doing a great job.
Doing a good job.
Oh, sorry.
Finally, she was home with her mum and dad, her big sister Kennedy and twin brother Harley.
She was just the cutest little petite baby. She had this gorgeous big gummy smile and you just couldn't help smile when she smiled.
Because her nickname's Possum, but it was, depending on the day, Happy Poss, Grumpy Poss,
Cross
you know,
Poss.
Cross Poss, which is just a little thing like this, but just a whole lot of energy.
Full of spirit.
Full of spirit.
She was growing and she was happy.
We had a lot of follow-ups with specialists and stuff, but we were starting
Everything was good.
Yeah, to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know?
But just days after Andie and Harley turned 9 months, the James family's world stopped.
It was just a totally normal Saturday. Andie actually slept through the night, one of the handful of times she did. Changed her nappy, and she did a little bit of a funny cry, which I heard, and I thought, oh, that was a little bit unusual, but, you know, nothing crazy. 9-month-old baby, they cry. A little while later, I sort of roused her, and she didn't move. And I roused her a bit more, and she didn't move. And I grabbed her, and she just flopped back into my arms, and she had just stopped breathing. So it was just panic stations from there, you know. Obviously, we called 000, we put our other children in a room to get them away from what was going on, and just started CPR and hoped that paramedics got there quickly.
Despite paramedics doing all they could, little Andie passed away.
Yeah, it was the worst thing. Life's pretty cruisy for me now, you know, like nothing's as big as that.
Somehow, in the darkest days, they found strength.
You got 2 options. It breaks you or it builds you, you know. So I feel it's built us, hasn't it? We're really focused on what's right and
what's important to us. We also can't sit here and pretend that it's been smooth sailing and it's been this easy journey. You know, we've definitely been to hell and back through the process, and we've had to grieve with our family and go through the motions. But I suppose it's been important to us that we try to make something positive come from this.
As they tried to come to grips with losing Andie, they found Red Nose.
I'd sit on the internet for hours at night on my phone and researching, you know, why has this happened? Does this happen? Is it just us that this happened to? And I reached out to other mothers that had been through similar things, and we would chat, and it's funny, but you sort of don't understand until it happens to you. So that was really comforting for me.
Each year, more than 3,000 babies die suddenly and unexpectedly. It's commonly referred to as SIDS. And for 35 years, Red Nose Australia has been helping families impacted by such a great loss, raising awareness and educating. They've reduced the rates of SIDS in Australia by 80%.
That is 11,621 little babies that wouldn't be around today if it wasn't for the work of Red Nose.
It's a cause close to Karen's heart. She herself lost her son, Ben, to SIDS in 1998.
The old adage that time heals all wounds really isn't the case for bereaved families. Grief lasts a lifetime. So for me personally, being able to do the work that I do here at Red Nose in memory of my beautiful son, Ben, is a privilege that I never take for granted.
We're blessed that we've got a super tight-knit family. We've got a lot of support around us. Not everybody has that, and I can't imagine going through what we've been through if you didn't have that support.
And the family has become fierce supporters of Red Nose. Last year, they were the second highest fundraisers in the country, and this year, they're going for the top.
We've had local businesses donate $15,000 worth of prizes. We've been selling raffle tickets, so we've raised $35,000 worth of tickets already.
It's a positive thing to put your energy into something that's going to help maybe another family rather than sitting down and going back into a rabbit hole, you know.
For families going through this unfathomable loss,
what really helped us is not shying away from it. It's not some dirty little secret that we don't talk about. Like, we encourage our children to speak about Andie, and what we sort of learned is that, like, nothing in life is promised. Hold your children tight, be present, be there for each other.
It's okay to be upset for a long time, but you do have to step forward.
Stepping forward, but never forgetting.
She was our beautiful baby. We just loved her so much, and we do a lot to remember Andie, and that's been one of the main things that's helped us get through it. All of the women in our family wear A's. Mitch has an Andie tattoo. We have a shrine.
Who's in the picture? Andie.
When we're going to bed at night, the kids say, "Good night, Daddy, good night, Grandma, good night, Mummy, good night, Andie," and we try to honour her in everything that we do, and we might not be able to see her, but God, we can feel her.
Gosh,
It's a lot, isn't it?
that is a lot. That is really hitting hard right now too.
Yeah, and it was, I think when I first had my babies, it was one of the biggest fears that I had as a mum. I would constantly run into the room and check that they were breathing. I think a lot of parents have that fear, but because of beautiful people like the James family, they've managed an 80% reduction in the cases of SIDS, and that's from safe sleeping, making sure the baby sleeps on their back. And more than that, just this year, only a few months ago, right here in Sydney at the Children's Hospital at Westmead, they've actually discovered a biomarker which identifies vulnerable babies at risk of SIDS, and they're hoping that in the next 5 years, they'll be able to introduce a newborn test to test for that marker, and then also remedy the enzyme deficiency that these children have. So that's really good stuff that's being done in the last 35 years and built off the backs of families like the beautiful Jameses.
Absolutely.
This Friday is Red Nose Day, and they're hoping to raise $1 million, which a large contribution is being made by that family. So if you would like to donate, head to the links page on our website. And of course, for those of you needing help, Red Nose support is there 24/7. The number is 1300 308 307.